Welcome to the Brickies podcast, the podcast for Sittingbourne fans. I'm Michael Brownie, and I'm going to be your host for this podcast. Hopefully I'll get some other hosts on, but it'll be me giving you the main points and talking points from the weekend, plus my review, plus whatever fans send in. And if we can catch you at games, or if we can answer any of your questions that you have in and around the team, or with the Sittingbourne in general, we'll try and answer them. But let's get straight into it. I've got two reviews from fans, a short one and an over 5-minute one. Then we'll end it with the manager's interview, and then hopefully we'll be able to catch you guys at games, or you can come and find me. I'll always be around the camera equipment, have a quick talk and get you into the pod. Let's get straight into it. I'll give you my review from the weekend of the loss to Eastbourne Town. First of all, the ground's absolutely lovely. It's a bit of a temporary ground with a temporary fence around it, but it was a really nice feeling in the ground, really sunny day. Trip was a bit of a long one, but yeah, they were really friendly when I walked in. Setup was good. We was behind the dugouts, which is something I tend to not want to be around, just in case you catch things like we caught a member of their staff getting sent off. And yeah, the game was a non-starter for me, as someone who's joined the Brickies in December, and I've seen us on a very good run. And really recently, maybe we haven't had the best of form. But it was one of those games where you knew Eastbourne were going to sit back. They were going to be a frustrating side. They had a draw in the previous week with Faversham. And they're just a team that sit in that bank of four with 2-3s in front, and they want to hit you off. No doubts with the red card. It is a handball. Swifty probably knows that, but I think it's more or less hit him on the way through. I don't know. I have to watch the footage again, but I think he's really meant to try and do anything other than, try and get his head to it. But he'll get a 1-game suspension. And yeah, they scored the penalty. I remember really vividly listening to the bench after they scored, and they said, sit back, they won't be able to come at us, we'll sit in banks of four. And I thought that was really boring, if I was being honest. If you're playing 10 men and you're 1-0 up, just be consolidate. Yes, keep the ball going, but try and go for a jugular, try and push up that league. I know that it doesn't really matter in non-league where you finish, you don't get money for where you finish, but it's always important to try and finish on a, good points at the end of the season, get momentum going into next season. Because if you say, we finished 14th, but if you had goal difference, you somehow finished in the top 10, it helps players come in. And I think that was pretty poor from Eastbourne. Obviously afterwards online, they went for the meme thing that we did before that, but I think that's the good banter in non-league, is that if you do something like that and they do it bad, the only thing I probably would say is, go and get your own memes. And then do it to any other squad or any other team. But yeah, other than that, the referee, I don't think he was very good. As a referee myself, I thought it was poor the way he took criticism. It's an emotional game. Anyone who's played football or plays football at any level knows that when you're out there, it's a high octane game. You want to win, and you will get on the referee's back. I'm a referee myself, and I get it every weekend. And I tell the boys there are some words I don't accept, but if you're going to have a go at me, that's absolutely fine. But when it's consistent, we'll have a chat. And the first chat will be to the management or to the captain. But I just think that he was very militant. He was very young, couldn't take criticism. And I think he dished out over 8 or 9 yellow cards, 2 red cards. One obviously was a red card for the handball, and I don't think their red card really warranted it. Bench one, I can understand being told he's an F in this and an F in that to the lino. But I don't think the referee's the reason we lost the game. I just think we couldn't get a rhythm in that game after going down to 10 men. And it just seemed like it was the day that, nothing was going to go right. But we move on. We're looking forward to Erith now. And that'll be a different test. Erith have got some good players. They try to play football. The ground's very nice. I know you've all probably been there before. Pitch isn't the greatest, but, at this level, whose pitch is great? Ours sometimes has that struggle, but shout out to the groundsman who does a great job, our young groundsman. And yeah, I think that's the review for me. I'm going to hit you straight up now with Rob's review, and then we'll get into the other review, and hopefully we'll get the manager's one.
This is Rob Barnard, just with some thoughts about Saturday's game against Eastbourne. What can we say, really? Well, we didn't play well. I mean, I think that's the overall assessment. I think we what we did to Three Bridges last Saturday, Eastbourne effectively did to us. I mean, I think we forced Three Bridges into playing a certain way that they didn't really want to do, that wouldn't bring them success, and ultimately Eastbourne did the same to us on Saturday. The game changed, obviously, 15th minute, Ben Swift handball, conceding a penalty, and then obviously ultimately losing the goal as well. But going down to 10 men obviously was going to make things incredibly difficult for us on the day. But we can't really forget that, up until that 15th minute, it had been a fairly even game, and we hadn't been playing that well. If Ben doesn't handle the ball onto the crossbar and give the penalty away and ultimately get sent off, we're conceding a goal. So, we would have been 1-0 down at that point anyway. But, I'd rather have taken being 1-0 down with 11v11 than 1-0 down and 10v11, as we found ourselves. But after that, I mean, I don't think you can question the commitment, the work rate, the effort of the players. But it was a bit of a huff and puff performance. We tried. I think if you'd have walked in, in the 20th minute and watched the rest of that game, you probably would have struggled to see that it was 10v11. I don't think that there was a discernible difference between the two teams. And we should give the players some credit for the fact that, they scored 2 goals, both of them were penalties. Jamie didn't have a, massive amount of work to do. We weren't under the cosh hitting them on the break. If anything, it was kind of the other way round. But despite all the sort of territory that we had, the possession, it was, a huff and puff performance. We didn't really make their goalkeeper do anything. I mean, kind of in the whole of that second half, I can think of 2 occasions where we kind of got close to scoring a goal. One was, I think, from a long throw where Jack Steventon flicked the ball on. It rolled sort of agonisingly across the edge of the 6-yard box, and there was no one anticipating and no one, reading that, which would have brought us back into the game. But it's a half chance, really. And the other one was Jack, where he sort of turned and swiveled inside the box and hit a shot that the goalkeeper made a decent save, but it's a save he should make. He's tipped it over the crossbar. We've won a corner. But that was about it, really. Despite, all of the territory and all the possession we sort of had, we didn't create enough. It's a little bit worrying for me that we seem to have this sort of high and low of performance. We've clearly got ability in the team. We can go out and perform like we did against Three Bridges. But sometimes against these sort of lower to mid-table teams, we get sucked into playing the way they want to play, and it's a bit long ball. We sort of don't get the ball down and play it in areas where we can sort of hurt teams. We go a little bit too direct. But yeah, it's just one of them days. I mean, we just got to write it off now and get on. Disappointing because obviously Ben's going to be suspended now for a couple of games, I'd imagine. We're already a little bit short at the back. Losing Bags. Hopefully Bags is not going to be injured for any length of period of time, because we do look a little bit short defensively. But yeah, onwards and upwards. Erith away Tuesday night, incredibly difficult place to go. The pitch is always generally pretty poor there. They're another team that sort of generally gets in your face, very direct. So it'll be interesting to see how we respond Tuesday night. Hopefully we've got a group of players that are a bit of a wounded animal after Tuesday, and they want to come out and show what they're made of. It was interesting to see or to hear Reece in his interview say, he's going to find out now who's up for the fight. Sounded a little bit to me like he was questioning, some of the attitudes that he might have in that dressing room, which is a bit of a concern. But we'll see. There's a lot of games left to play and a lot of points to play for. So hopefully, that was just a blip, and we can get on now for the rest of the season and pick up the points we need to get in the playoffs.
Many thanks to Rob there. Let us know what you think about his view. Is it the right view? Do you share his opinion? And for the last review, we're going to have David with a very quick review. 35 seconds will be a very quick recap. And hopefully we can follow that with the manager's interview, and then that'll be it. Please, again, make sure that if you want to be involved in the podcast, you contact me. We can get you at games, or we can get you over voice notes. This is for you guys. If you guys have any questions that you need answering, put the questions in, put them in a voice note, catch me at a game. Let's get you recorded. Let's make this happen. And as always, up the Brickies.
Tough game on Saturday for the Brickies. It was a difficult playing surface. We never really got into our rhythm of the game. Created a few half chances, but certainly need to look a bit better on the ball. Put some more quality into the box, and then Mitch and Harvey will get the goals for us. It was just a difficult game on Saturday. The ref didn't help the situation. Second half got a bit bogged down in it. We go again on Tuesday night, and hopefully we can make a push and get into some strong form moving into the playoffs.
2-0 loss here, but it's just one of those days where we just couldn't get going.
No, I just think we had a very poor start. Seems to be a bit of a repeat on record apart from last Saturday, to be honest. I feel like we just are very erratic in our play. We don't relax when we can bring the ball down or pass the ball or make one pass. And then we're just making bad decisions.
Yeah, you talk about that, the start doesn't happen, and within 15 minutes you're down to 10 men, and does that sort of like change the mentality? Because this is a team here that will sit on things as well. They're a team that will set themselves up to be frustrating. Once they got that lead and down to 10 minutes, it felt like a very flat game.
Yeah, to be honest, it's nothing new. I mean, we said before the game, like they're quite an organised team. They'll fight for everything. They'll battle for everything. It's going to be a tough game, tough pitch as well. So it's not like they was unaware. I just think that even when we was down to 10 men, it didn't feel like we was down to 10 men. I thought we just needed the quality just wasn't there today. I think we had even an ounce of quality that we did Saturday. I think we come away with probably 3 points.
When you say ounce of quality, would you say that it was because of how Eastbourne set up to frustrate us, or would you say that it just wasn't clicking for us?
I think we just allowed ourselves to get sucked into this sort of game today. There was chances we could move the ball. There's chances we could just settle it down, kill a little bit of momentum, swing it in our way, but we didn't. We just even when we was trying to put it in areas and stuff like that, the quality wasn't there. We didn't really turn them when we needed to turn them. Everything was a bit short. Didn't win our second balls and stuff like that. But yeah, so a completely sort of deflation from last Saturday.
I'm not going to say the referee changed the game, so I don't think the referee really did, because obviously the sending off was a sending off. I've never seen a game where a referee has given, I think it was over 15 cards today. One of their coaches got sent off. One of their players got sent off for a second yellow. When a game's like that as well, the referees, you feel like he didn't have control of the game today?
I think you just got to take that sort of excuse out of it. If I'm honest, I think we didn't take control. We got to take control ourselves before we finger point. If I'm honest, I think we need to have a little chat Thursday. Probably have a video footage of it, just to point it out to the boys. When you're playing, you probably see it a little bit different from the sideline. But yeah, look, we controlled games. We got on the ball, we moved the ball, we switched play, we made teams get deep and defend. We kept teams in their boxes, and I just don't think we've got to that level again. Whether that be the break, whatever, I don't want to keep using that excuse, because it's well and truly gone. And especially after last Saturday, 3 Bridges, that should give you a lift. If anything, that should give you a real buzz to come out and sort of keep that momentum. And I just think the first 15 minutes was really sloppy.
Does it help today with Faversham not picking up points, Jersey only picking up a point, and Deal, who are a team another run in it, you're not getting points as well?
I mean, you can look at it that way, but I look at it as a missed opportunity, really. I don't look at it as a gain because we've lost a game of football. I look at it that we've now missed an opportunity to get a bit of a breathing space between us and fifth and sixth place. But we now need to pick ourselves up. The boys need to pick themselves up. Got a game Tuesday, which hopefully can't come around quick enough now to turn it back round.
Just going to move on to that one Tuesday. Erith Town, really short journey this time, and it's a quick turnaround. Maybe the last time we do play a midweek game, and until we hopefully get in the playoffs. How much do you look forward to this game in hand?
Well, I think it's massive now. It's a massive game in hand. We now have to go there and win. And look, Tuesday's going to be like today, so we have to, mentality-wise, we have to be on it. We have to make sure that we know what sort of game it's going to be, and who's up for the fight. If I'm honest.
Morgan coming in today as well. Antonio Morgan, good player. Used him before? Yeah,
well, obviously he come on a brief spell with us last year, become available. I know what sort of he gives you, and I thought he come on in a really difficult game, and I thought he was he sort of done what I asked. Got the ball out wide, tried to take his man on, put balls in the box, which is all we asked for really. Second half, down to 10 minutes. Probably the main thing that we didn't do is get the ball out wide, put balls in boxes. We got 6'3" strikers on the pitch, and we haven't really delivered much ball. But yeah, I thought Antonio come on and done well.
Thank you very much.